November 1912. An antique book dealer named Wilfred Voynich discovers a strange manuscript in a Jesuit college in Italy. It's 240 pages of pure mystery, written in a language that doesn't exist on any known map. For 600 years, this book has mocked the world's greatest cryptographers. It contains plants that don't grow on Earth and star charts that don't align with our sky. Is it an elaborate hoax or a manual for a technology we've completely forgotten? I'm Dark Trace, and tonight we enter the labyrinth of the book that no one can read. To truly understand the Voynich, we must analyze its DNA. It isn't a random mess of doodles. It follows Zipf's law, a mathematical constant found in every natural human language, from ancient Arabic to modern English. In any functional language, the frequency of words follows a specific power law distribution. The Voynich follows this perfectly. This suggests it is not gibberish. It is a structured carrier of complex information. However, the phonology is alien. Words like kokor and okor repeat in rhythmic patterns that defy any known Indo-European grammar. Perhaps most unsettling is the lack of corrections. In almost every medieval manuscript, you find crossed-out mistakes or ink blots. Not here. This was written with a fluid, terrifying confidence, as if the scribe were transcribing a direct mental download or using a technology that didn't allow for error. During World War II, William Friedman, the genius who cracked the Japanese Purple Code, dedicated years to this manuscript and failed. He concluded it was a synthetic language, a tongue constructed by a mind that didn't think like a human. If it is a code, the key isn't just hidden. It might be conceptual, requiring a shift in consciousness that humanity has since lost. It is a linguistic prison where the bars are made of mathematical perfection, designed to keep the uninitiated out. The herbal section is a nightmare for modern botanists. It features 126 plants, yet not a single one definitively matches Earth's flora. These are chimeras, a root system from a desert cactus attached to leaves from a woodland fern and flowers from an unknown aquatic species. This has led to the extraterrestrial theory. Could these be records of plants from a world with different gravity or a different light spectrum? But look closer at the biological section. It depicts dozens of naked women, or nymphs, bathing in green liquid inside complex interconnected pipes. These pipes look like a disturbing cross between industrial plumbing and human internal organs. Some researchers believe this is a coded manual for alchemy of the flesh, an early suppressed form of genetics or cellular biology. In the 15th century, such knowledge was the highest form of heresy. If a scientist had discovered the secrets of DNA or life extension, they couldn't write it in Latin. The Inquisition would have burned them. They had to hide it in a language that only the initiated could perceive. The Voynich might not be a book of magic at all, but a book of forbidden science that was too dangerous for a world governed by superstition and fire. It is a record of a scientific peak that was intentionally buried to protect the knowledge from being weaponized or destroyed by the church. The most chilling realization comes in the cosmological section. It contains circular diagrams that look identical to spiral galaxies, specifically the Andromeda Galaxy. There is a massive problem with this. The spiral shape of Andromeda wasn't discovered until the mid-19th century with the advent of high-powered telescopes. The Voynich was carbon dated to 1404. How did a medieval author see the rotation of a galaxy 2.5 million light years away? Some suggest the author used occult remote viewing, while others point to the lost lens theory, the idea that advanced optics existed in secret long before Galileo. There are also charts of the Pleiades and Hyades, but they include extra stars that are only visible to us today with infrared equipment. This suggests the author possessed a high trace view of the universe. They weren't looking at the sky from the perspective of an earthbound human. They were looking at it from somewhere else entirely. The book isn't just a manual, it's a coordinate system. It suggests that the ancients had a relationship with the stars that was both technological and profound, a connection that we are only now beginning to rediscover through modern space probes. Whoever wrote this was not limited by the tools of the 15th century. In recent years, the hunt has moved from the library to the supercomputer. In 2018, AI from the University of Alberta used algorithmic decipherment and claimed the language was Hebrew-based. They were wrong. In 2019, another researcher claimed it was Proto-Romance. Wrong again. Every time we apply a human key, the manuscript rejects it. This leads to a terrifying possibility. The book is self-encrypting. Some experts believe the Voynich is a mental trap, a piece of stenography where the real message isn't in the words, but in the negative space between the letters, or hidden in the chemical composition of the ink itself. Chemical analysis of the ink shows traces of rare minerals that were only found in specific regions of the Himalayas and the Andes. This wasn't a local project. It was a global, or perhaps pan-dimensional effort to store information. The Voynich isn't a book we are meant to read in the traditional sense. It's a device we are meant to activate. It sits in the Yale Library, a silent sentinel of a lost reality, waiting for a frequency of thought that we have yet to reach. It is the ultimate cold case, an artifact that proves our history has holes large enough to swallow entire civilizations. The Voynich manuscript is a bridge to a world we lost, or perhaps a world that hadn't arrived yet. It proves that the greatest secrets are kept not by iron locks, but by the limits of our own understanding. I'm Dark Trace. What do you see in these pages? A map to the stars, or the journal of a mind that saw too much? Leave your theory in the comments. The trace is there, waiting for you to find it. Stay vigilant.